with a real slam-bang finish. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Now, something that I don't think I've seen talked about a lot is that the new way that GW is choosing to write their rules, with basically 2 pages of rules for every detachment in the game, this is opening the door wide open for homebrew faction. It has never been easier to create your own set of homebrew rules to play the factions, sub-factions, or anything else that your little heart desires the way you want to. So to illustrate how easy this is, I've taken it upon myself to create the custom Inquisitorial Command Detachment. This is a faction that is supposed to represent all of those books where you see Inquisitors running around with armies, space marines, custodians sometimes, and all of their represented shenanigans. The base of this army is Agents of the Imperium, but it's not using the Agents of the Imperium baked in army rule. We made a new one specifically for this detachment. In this detachment, or rather, if your army faction is Agents of the Imperium, which isn't, I think, normally allowed, all of your Agents of the Imperium are allowed to embark in any transport with the Imperium keyword. Additionally, Imperial Navy breachers gain battle line. And to represent that kind of mixed force detachment that I was really looking to recreate, there are some special allied choices here. You get a smattering of selection from the Astra Militarum in order to bulk out your troops and some vehicles, as well as a couple of Space Marines, just to kind of get that representation in there too. But never too many, because there really aren't too many in the fiction accompanying these sorts of excursions. So that is the first army rule mix deployment, but there is a second one, because the most important thing about the Inquisition are the different ordos and their specializations in the types of enemies that they face down. When you're constructing your army, you can select one of the ordos below. All Agents of the Imperium models in your army gain that ordos keyword, and each one of those has its own associated ability. Xenos get to re-roll attacks against units without the Imperium or Chaos keywords. And in addition to that, they can also take a Deathwatch kill team. The Deathwatch being the Ordo Xenos kind of representation in the Greater Imperium's military strength. Likewise, for the Ordo Malleus, you can re-roll ones to hit against things with the Chaos keyword. And they can bring along a Grey Knights battle line unit for the same reasons as the Xenos could. And then Hereticus, of course, being the anti-witch faction, can reroll ones against units with the Psyker keyword. And then in addition to that, they can gain a smattering of choices from the Sororitas Index. And the reason for that is the Sisters of Battle are a little bit less resilient than the Space Marine faction, so I thought a little bit more kind of flexibility in their chosen slot would complement versus just strictly having Space Marines. And finally, rounding it out is the Ordo Minoris, who do not have an associated militant faction and thus gain the ability to reroll hits and wounds against units with the character keyword. Now, it should be important to note here that bodyguard units do gain the character keyword when they are being led by a character. And then we come to the Inquisitorial Command Detachment rule. There is really just one kind of main rule here, under authority of the throne. These guys are among the most zealous and ruthless of the Imperium's hunters, and thus the entire army gets to re-roll a battle shock test whenever they are forced to make one. Hopefully you'll be seeing a lot less of battle shock effects affecting this army. With a ton of kind of more vulnerable troops choices and less vehicles, I think this will be a really useful one to really snag those objectives. In addition to that, once per battle at the start of your command phase, you can select one unit in your army. Weapons that unit is equipped with gain the following abilities according to their Ordo ability. Ordo Malleus units gain Anti-Chaos, 4-up. Hereticus gains Anti-Psyker, 4-up. Minoris gains Anti-Character, 4-up. And Xenos gains, well, this. There's not a Xenos keyword, so I just had to choose all of them. And to round out this detachment is the stratagems. There are 5 stratagems available to this detachment. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I do want to share the final one because, like I said, it's a slam bang finish.
Don't just stand there. How do I get off?
Just happen to have a slam bang finish, sir. Yes, sir.
I hereby sign the death warrant of an entire world and consign 1 million souls to oblivion. May Imperial justice account in all balance. The Emperor protects.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are bringing Exterminatus into the game of Warhammer 40k. I made rules for Exterminatus. Are they good? Balanced? Even doable? I'm not entirely sure, but here's what it is. For a massive 6 command points, you get this Epic Deed stratagem. You use it at the beginning of a battle round. There are no targets, and the effect reads as such. At the beginning of the next battle round, remove all units from the battlefield. They count as destroyed. Each model destroyed in this way counts as being destroyed by its owner. The restrictions on this stratagem are that it can only be used in the 3rd or 4th battle round. What does this mean? It effectively ends the game 1 or 2 turns earlier. All of the models are removed, everybody's tabled essentially, and points are just tallied up from the state of the battlefield that they're in. If you're able to save up 6 command points and get this off while you're in a leading position, it is basically a way to win the game early. However, I don't think that's going to be an easy task, which is why I'm comfortable making a more extreme rule like that for this detachment. It's important to note that all of the units are destroyed by their owners, so there are no additional points to be gained from killing enemy units or things of that nature. It's a small modicum of balance I tried to inject into this wild stratagem. Either way, it was designed just to have a lot of fun and be wacky. And I mean, come on, it's the thing that the Inquisition does. How could I not have it? There are 4 more stratagems for your perusal because this PDF is freely available to everybody at the link down below in the description. Let me know what you think. Is this bad? Is it cool? Do you want to see me make enhancements? I noticed that the only non-epic hero character in Agents was the unnamed Inquisitor, so I didn't bother to do enhancements for this. But hey, if people want them, I could definitely come up with a few. Or if you want to lay out some options, let me know in the comments. And what do you guys think of homebrew rules in general? Are you for them, against them? Obviously, this wouldn't fly in a tournament, but if you're just trying to have some fun with some friends, why not give it a go? I don't have anything to field. I don't have the models necessary to field this force, but if you guys do, please try it out and let me know how it goes. And if people like this one, then hey, maybe I'll try some other faction. Dark Mechanicum? Could happen. Maybe an entirely new faction like the Hrud. That might be cool. But yeah, that is all I have for you today. Please use these rules, share them to people who you think might like them, any Inquisition fans that you might know. And if you did enjoy this video, please give me a like. It always helps the channel out. And make sure you stay subscribed or hit that subscribe button for more homebrew goodness. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace!